Let's take a look at social studies, but first grade, you've actually completed the social studies curriculum with our purple social studies textbook and our purple softcover book. So a few weeks ago, I sent home this nutrition packet. It's called Healthy Choices, Healthy Me. And if you have this packet, we will work on it together. But I understand, since this was sent home several weeks ago, if you are unable to find this at home somewhere, that's okay. You can maybe just look at this video and follow along and try and answer the questions with us. If you have it though, let's go ahead and take a look at this together. Healthy Choices, Healthy Me is all about different foods and food groups and what are some healthy foods that we should include as part of our diet. And it also talks about the importance of exercise and movement to get your body moving to keep yourself healthy. Today, we're going to take a look at lessons 1 through 3. When you're ready, let's open up this workbook to lesson 1. Before we start working on lesson 1 for dairy food items, which is on page 5, I would like to read a little bit to you about all of the different foods we will be learning about. All the different foods that make up our diet are a bit like a puzzle. A puzzle is made up of many different pieces, and altogether they make an important picture at the end. Well, if we think about our diet that way, there are many different food groups, and it's important to make sure we're eating from all these different groups that make up our total diet to make sure that we have a healthy, balanced diet. Now let's talk specifically about dairy. The dairy food group is milk and milk products. And here's the importance of milk and milk products. Here's what I'll read to you. It says, milk and milk products provide the majority of calcium in our diets, which is important for the development of strong bones and teeth. Milk and milk products also supply some important critical nutrients, such as vitamin A, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. All of these are important, healthful food choices you should have every day. Now, just a few things that are actually made from milk or milk products but are not considered healthy items would be things like butter, sour cream, cream cheese, and whipped cream. And those, even though they are made from milk, they have a higher amount of fat, and some of them also have some sugar in them, which then makes them a less healthy option. Those are considered extra foods, which maybe you should have in a smaller amount or maybe not even necessarily every day, just because they are higher in fat and sugar. But some foods that are part of the milk and milk products that are healthy choices would be things like milk, yogurt, and cheese. Let's go ahead and take a look here on our page 5. We have examples: low-fat milk, yogurt, lactose-free milk, string cheese, and cheese. These are just some examples of dairy food items. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the 4 different food items and fill in the correct bubble in each row for each of the foods that come from the dairy group. Let's take a look at number 1. Our options were tuna, low-fat milk, tomato, rice. Which one is part of the dairy group? Milk. So that has been filled in for us. Okay, let's take a look. Number 2. Soft drink, crackers, string cheese, orange juice. Which one is part of the dairy group? String cheese. 3. Fruit yogurt, turkey lunch meat, pear, popcorn. Which one is part of the dairy group? Fruit yogurt. 4. Hard-boiled egg, corn tortilla, cheddar cheese, lettuce. Cheese, because the cheese is made from milk. Great. When you're ready, let's turn the page. I'm now on page 6. Let's read number 5. Shrimp, cottage cheese, berries, butter. This one actually has 2 that come from the dairy group. Both cottage cheese and And butter is also made from milk, but they mentioned before, because it's higher in fat, they're not including it in the dairy group, but rather they're putting it in the extra food group. Things that might be higher in fat or sugar, which we don't necessarily want to have a lot of in our diet. Okay, 6. Steak, pasta, raisins, fat-free milk. Well, fat-free milk is, of course, milk and a milk product. Number 7, bell pepper, chicken, low-fat chocolate milk, apple pie. You might be surprised, but low-fat chocolate milk is a milk product that is healthy. 8, black beans, plain yogurt, cereal, banana. Plain yogurt. What I learned, write down 2 of my favorite foods from the dairy group are. Think for yourself, what are 2 of your favorite foods from the dairy group? You can use any of these options here or from the other side to help you with your writing down below. Write 1 item on each line, and when you're ready, we'll continue on to the next lesson. Lesson 2 is on page 7, and it's all about the vegetables food group. I'll read to you a little bit about vegetables before we start working on this page together. We count on foods in the vegetables group for our primary supply of vitamin A, which helps maintain healthy skin and good eyesight. Some vegetables are also good sources of vitamin C, and all vegetables provide dietary fiber, which helps with digestion and is thought to reduce the risk of certain kinds of cancer. The combination of all of these nutrients is what makes vegetables so beneficial. Now, vegetables can have many different forms. They can be fresh, frozen, or canned vegetables. But also this food group includes foods that are made from vegetables, things like tomato sauce, carrot juice, vegetable soup, and a salad. Unfortunately, there are some items that are made from vegetables, but they add extra amounts of fat. So things like fried vegetables, like fried zucchini, or if you have French fries, yes, those are made from potatoes, but the frying, that oil is high in fat. There are potato chips and corn chips. Again, those are fried, which add fat to them. So rather than having those fried options, a healthier option is to eat those vegetables in a different form that hasn't been fried. Now, sometimes there are some other ways to have vegetables that are still considered the extra foods because of the extra amount of sugar. So maybe there's a type of cake you've heard of called carrot cake. Yes, there are carrots in there, but that carrot cake is not considered part of the vegetable group because carrot cake also has a lot of sugar. So that's considered an extra food. So some of those dessert food items would be in the extra food group. Now, one other thing it does mention here is that tomatoes are technically a fruit because tomatoes have seeds inside of them and things like that. But they consider tomatoes vegetables here for this packet because tomatoes are usually prepared in dishes where you would find other vegetables. For example, if you're making a fruit salad, you're not usually going to put a tomato in a fruit salad, even though a tomato is technically a fruit, but you would see a tomato in a green salad, in a green dinner salad. So we're going to go ahead and consider tomatoes part of the vegetables group. Okay. Let's go ahead and start filling in the bubbles for this page here about vegetables. Take a look. Options for number 1, they have cantaloupe, plain yogurt, fish, and spinach. And so the one that's already been filled in is spinach. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. Let's find the vegetable. Bacon, American cheese, popcorn, lettuce. Which one is the vegetable? Lettuce is the vegetable. 3, crackers, broccoli, nuts, cookie. Which one is the vegetable? Broccoli. 4, low-fat milk, pasta, potato, tofu. If you're not familiar with tofu, tofu is actually made from a soybean, but that bean is not considered a vegetable. So the vegetable is potato. When you're ready, let's turn the page. 5, avocado, French fries, nuts, candy. The vegetable is avocado. Remember, we did mention that French fries are made from potatoes, but they're not considered part of the vegetable group because they are high in fat because they have been fried. So they're considered part of the extra food group. Okay, 6, green beans, fat-free milk, English muffin, cream cheese. The vegetable is green beans. 7, chips, pineapple, salsa, graham cracker. This one's a little bit tricky, but it's only because it's a mixture of vegetables. So actually, salsa is part of the vegetable group because everything inside of it is part of the vegetable group. 8, ham, lactose-free milk, tomato, whole grain bread. Tomato. What I learned, 2 of my favorite foods from the vegetable group are, and write 2 items right here. When you've completed your writing, we'll do one more lesson together today. On page 9, lesson 3 is all about fruits. They have a few examples at the top: banana, grapefruit, pear, grapes, watermelon, and raisins. And I also want to read a little bit of information to you about the importance of fruits. So here's what they say. Fruits are the main source of vitamin C in our diets. Vitamin C helps in the formation of connective tissues. Those are inside of our bodies where our muscles are, underneath our layers of skin. The connective tissues helps hold everything together the way it should. And vitamin C also helps promote the healing of wounds, meaning that if you have a cut, your body uses vitamin C to help heal that wound. Some fruits are also good sources of vitamin A and dietary fiber, which help with digestion and is thought to reduce the risk of certain kinds of cancer. All kinds of fruits are in this group. A lot of common options are apples, oranges, bananas, plums, and cantaloupe, but also some other fruits you might not be familiar with, like star fruit and guava. Fruits come in all varieties: fresh, frozen, canned, and dried. And there are also some foods that are made from fruits, things like applesauce and orange juice. Now, there are some foods that take fruit and either add more fat or sugar, which then make them no longer as healthy as they would be on their own. Some examples of those extra food items that have fruit in them would be things like a fruit roll, a fruit pie, fruit punch, or fruit jellies and jams. Really specifically with those jellies and jams, there's a high amount of sugar that are added to those. So because of that, they're considered an extra food and not part of the fruit group. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with looking at number 1. We have string cheese, tuna, pear, and green beans. The fruit is the pear. Let's take a look at number 2. Orange juice, graham cracker, syrup, cauliflower. The fruit is orange juice because that does come from the orange, which is the source there. Number 3, scrambled egg, waffle, apple pie, pineapple. The fruit is pineapple. Yes, the apple pie does have apples in it, but it also has a lot of sugar, and that crust is also going to have a lot of butter, which is making this apple pie high in sugar and fat. So this is considered an extra. Number 4, English muffin, kale, cantaloupe, Parmesan cheese. Which one is the fruit? Cantaloupe. And when you're ready, let's turn the page. On page 10, starting with number 5, broccoli, mango, salsa, edamame. The fruit is mango. 6, tofu, grapes, oatmeal, summer squash. The fruit is grapes. 7, berries, cupcake, celery, plain yogurt. Berries. And 8, bagel, sweet potato, soft drink, peach. Peach. What I learned. 2 of my favorite foods from the fruits group are, and list 2 things here. Of course, you can use the options that are listed on this page, but if something is your favorite and it's not there, just use your best spelling and write it down below. Great job completing these 3 lessons today.